Yabba dabba daboo! You lost to a fruit! Oh boy. Clemsoning is back. Wow. It's almost like it was never even gone. You know, really, you Clemsoned last year. Remember, you lost to Pitt. So I guess, I don't know if you want to try to use last year as an example. You know, if you're a Tater fan, I guess you can say, well, we still have a chance. Yeah, you still have a chance, but what you don't have is Deshaun Watson. So, but anyway, how do you lose to Syracuse? And look, I know I've already seen all the excuses. Weird Friday night game, which I'll say something about that in a second. Weird Friday night game on the road, prime time. You know, he had to play a backup quarterback. Let's see, what else? Blame the play calling. That's right, Tater fans are blaming their coaches for this loss. Too much passing, not enough running. You know, listen, a couple of things here. First of all, Syracuse? Come on. What Syracuse? Same Syracuse lost to Middle Tennessee State. Syracuse is not good. I don't want to hear anything about how they're underrated or, you know, they don't get the respect they deserve or they had close. I don't want to hear anything. Look, it's Syracuse, okay? There is no reason, no excuse, no reasonable scenario in which a Clemson Tater team should lose to Syracuse. The talent discrepancy on these two teams is miles and miles apart. I mean, this just makes no sense. You lost to a fruit! The Syracuse Orangemen. Other than Tennessee's sideline trash can, the funniest thing to see is that damn orange running around on the sideline at a Syracuse game, ain't it? Yabba dabba daboo! Mascot dressed up like an orange. Are oranges even... Oranges don't even grow in New York, do they? Don't they grow in Florida and California? I don't know. Somebody explain to me down there why Syracuse is called the Orangemen. Why? What is it? They just love oranges? I don't know. Somebody let me know. Let me say this, too. And I'm not a hater, okay? I'm not a Clemson hater. I'm not a Dabo hater. I've been high on Clemson this year. You don't have to take my word for it. You can go back and watch the videos. I've had them ranked number 1 in the UNCLELOU poll for a while now. And I don't think I've ever said anything bad about Yabba Dabba Daboo or any of the Clemson coaches. But with that being said, somebody needs to be held accountable for the decision to play Kelly Bryant, y'all's quarterback, in that game last night. This is the kind of thing that really pisses me off. Listen, there's not a bigger college football fan than Uncle Lou, okay? No one wants to win a game more than Uncle Lou. No one hates losing more than Uncle Lou. And I'm all about a kid, you know, toughing it out or whatever and playing through certain types of pain. You know, depending on what it is that's hurting, what position the kid plays, things like that, okay? To put a running quarterback out there with one leg is inexcusable. Somebody needs to be held accountable for that. If I was that kid's parents, I'd be irate. The guy could barely move, okay? And Syracuse was getting pressure on him all game. And he, you know, he finally gets caught or whatever. What was that, the third quarter? He gets, or what? No, it might have been the second quarter, I think. Didn't even make it to halftime. He gets caught from behind by a huge defensive lineman, slammed to the ground, hits his head, concussion. The guy never should have been out there. Never should have been out there. Somebody made a bad decision there. You're loaded at the quarterback position. You've got the number one quarterback in America from last year, right? Hunter Johnson, is that his name? Didn't even play him. You got this other guy. What's his name? Zarek Cooper or something? I might be getting that wrong. You bring him in. He didn't look that good, did he? But anyway, the point is, it doesn't matter who you have behind Kelly Bryant. The kid should not have been playing last night. He couldn't move. He couldn't run. He couldn't get around. He couldn't escape the pocket. He was playing on one leg. And that concussion last night that he got when he got slammed to the turf up there, that falls squarely on the shoulders of the Clemson coaching staff. You know, I don't care if the trainers or the medical staff came to the coaches and said, well, he's whatever percent and technically he can play. He might have a little pain or whatever, but there's nothing he can do to make the ankle worse. That's usually what they'll want to look at. Is there any way him playing could make the injury worse? Well, that's not what you should have been looking at in this situation here. You've got a running quarterback against obviously a suspect offensive line because the guy was y'all couldn't protect the quarterback all night. You got a running quarterback who can barely walk. So it's not about further damage to his sprained ankle or whatever it was. It's about the fact that he's a sitting duck in there. So somebody needs to be held responsible for that. That was a poor decision. That's putting winning ahead of the health and safety of your players. And like I said, I'm all for fighting through some pain and playing if you can. But, let's just be real. At some point, look, and I know what they're going to say, Kelly Bryant wanted to play. You know, of course he said that. They always say that. Okay? I mean, you got players that get knocked unconscious and think they're okay to play. They're raised that way. You know? They always want to play. But the coaches and the medical staff are supposed to be the responsible ones in the room. And somebody dropped the ball here. So, he never should have been in there. But anyway, bottom line as it relates to Uncle Lou is, you lost. Yabba dabba daboo. You were ranked ahead of UJ too, so what were you? One in my poll, 2 in most of the other polls. UJ sitting right behind you at 3, 4, or 5, depending on where you look. So guess what that means for my doggies? We'll be moving on up. Fish don't fry in the kitchen, a bean don't burn on the grill. It took a whole lot of trying just to get up that hill. Yabba dabba daboo.